According to a recent Gallup poll, only 29% of Americans say they have a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in the U.S. education system, and that is a historic low. So who's to blame, and how do we fix this threat to our economic strength and prosperity? With us now is the former chancellor of the Washington, D.C. public schools, Michelle Rhee, and she's the founder and CEO of StudentsFirst. Ms. Rhee, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Welsh, far be it from me to quarrel with him. He used to be my boss, or my boss's boss's boss. But he seems to lay much, maybe most, of the woes of American public education at the doorstep of the unions. Is he right about that?
I don't think there's any one cause for the problems that we face in public education today. And there are, quite frankly, a lot of opportunities. I have gone to battle with the unions myself on a lot of issues. But we recently, just as an example, saw some really historic legislation in Connecticut, where the unions actually lauded this legislation, and we think it's a good start as well. And so we just recently sent a letter to the heads of both national teachers unions saying, look, you liked this legislation, we liked it too. Let's move this kind of work together in other states. So we'll see what they have to say about that.
What are teachers unions most afraid of, Michelle?
You know, I think that a lot of unions are afraid of change, quite frankly. Change is hard. And when you are talking about moving away from a system that is based on seniority and tenure and moving towards a system that is based on merit and effectiveness, you're going to have some people who don't know what that's going to look like and are a little bit scared by that change. But at the end of the day, those are the changes that we have to make. We can no longer afford in this country to have policies in place that, for example, ensure that we lay teachers off by seniority without taking into account how good they are in the classroom. We can't afford to do that as a country anymore.
Michelle, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've spoken of you in great happiness with the Wall Street Journal. That you were much admired while in Washington. And I'm very pleased to say that you're focusing on the unions is good, but I want to focus outside the country. Does the United States have a sense of how it's doing with regard to the education system in China or in France or in other parts of the world where we're in competition every day with the economy?
I actually don't think that most Americans understand how dire the situation is. I think that, every year when the new results come out that show that America is near the bottom, for example, on international rankings in mathematics aptitude, that you don't hear an outcry from the American public. You don't hear people saying, oh my gosh, what's happening? We have to do something about it. And the ironic thing is that if you look at other sectors, so for example, the Olympics are coming up. If America fell from #1 in the medal count to number 26 in the medal count, there would be an absolute riot on our hands in this country. Why don't we have the same kind of response when we're looking at the educational achievement levels of our kids?
That's a great point. And we seem to be getting our lunch eaten by specifically math, and in the math areas, the sciences and engineering by other countries that have far exceeded our accomplishment. What can we do to turn it around, Michelle, very quickly?
Well, at the end of the day, we have to focus on three things. One, we have to focus on teacher quality, because we know that of all of the in-school factors that exist, the quality of teachers that are in front of our kids are the most important thing. And the second thing is that we have to focus on making sure that all families have high-quality school options for their kids.
Michelle Rhee, thank you very much. We'll have you back soon. Really appreciate it. John Batchelor, thank you.